A very happy evening. Third time is the charm. It gives me great pleasure to see you all here this evening. I can't describe the excitement that I have within me today. And it is indeed a great, momentous occasion for PARC and especially PARC Global Business School to have this occasion here with a inspirational legend like Mr. Shivkera. When we talk about education, I think India has done a lot in many years, many years ago. I think thousands of years ago, we had people from all over the world coming to India for education. And that is one of the dreams that PARC has been having, to have the rest of the world come and look for education in India. Times should change, things should happen. And as PARC Group, I think most of you are aware that PARC Group has been there for 40 years and started in a very modest way. And today we have about 20 institutions with 20,000 students. And all the way, it's always only one thing, and that is differentiating ourselves with what we do. Be it the courses or be it the kind of programs that we introduce, the most futuristic and thought-provoking courses, the much-needed courses by the society are always introduced first at PARC. With comparison to the globe, the global education scenario, what we have in education in India today is very basic in terms of higher education. Higher education percentage right from +2 level is about 12%. That is where India is in today. And China is at about 20%, and Europe and the Western world is about 70 to 80%. After high school, they go to college. And our numbers here are 12%, and these 12%, whatever stream, whether it is the uncle or the aunt or the father or mother or brother, whoever recommends the course that they go to, they are stuck on that for the rest of their lives. There is no way, or there is no possibilities of changing avenues that easily available in the Indian education scenario today. And to make that happen, I think we have come up with a new program here today, and that's why we're all gathered here. Higher education has to be looked at in different ways. I know of an example who was a classmate at 55 when I was 23, studying my MS, to start a new career in the US. Now, would we dream of that in India? There is no place where a 50-year-old can go and think about changing their career, getting a formal education in that way, and that is just the need of the hour. And the global trends, the scenario, the climate, the business climate keeps changing, and we need an education system that can match up with that. And today, what I found as an opportunity here, when I moved back from the US with my 12 years of experience in the US, I found, as I mentioned, the ancient Indian education and the Western the modern education, something that combines the both, and that is the fusion, and that is the vision that was Park Global was born 2007. So this is the vision that Park Global institutions were set up in 2007, and we have been imparting global education with Indian values, embracing Indian educational values. So the global institutions are unique in the way that the pedagogy, the kind of curriculum, everything has both a combination of East and West. It is like playing a sitar and a violin together, or guitar and a violin together, and Bharatanatyam and Western dance together. So the fusion and the melody is what Park Global is today. And we have been successful. In 3 years, we've sent out graduates to the world who are extremely doing well, and they've got double promotions within a year, and their capabilities have gone up. So this is the vision that Park Global was set up, and I would really be happy to acknowledge that our chairman had the vision and kind of encouraged all of us to set up this institution here in a great manner. Today, what we are gathered here is for the launch of Executive PGDM. As I mentioned, the need for advancing the career of working professionals who would like to advance their career. Most often they hit glass ceilings and in their work, and they are never able to proceed further. These are the people that we would like to help with the global education that we can provide right here in Coimbatore. And why Mr. KERA here for this? Can anyone think of anybody else? The motivating factor of the entire world is right here. More than 1 million people have bought his books. More than 1 million people, or I don't know how many the number is, that he has motivated personally. And this is just an unbelievable coincidence, I should say. We were just working on the logo and the new, fresh appeal that Park Global has to have for today. And one of the suggestions from the designers came up that we need somebody like Mr. KERA to, really launch this program, and that would be more meaningful. And I cannot think or even come up with an alternative, because the conversation I had for an hour this morning, I'm more than reassured that he is the best choice for today, because as you have seen, the words that I use in Park institutions is values, ethics, character, attitude, and these are the words that he through and through in his books and talks he's been reinforcing. And I'm really glad, and the kind of humility that this person carries with him. I am just really admiring the way he talked to me, be it 3 weeks ago from Delhi, and what else can I do? Is there something I can do? The kind of approach that this person has, in spite of all the achievements that he has had. I'm just very happy and heartfelt welcome for you to Coimbatore. I think he has been to Coimbatore before, but I think it's changed a lot. So it's like almost coming to a new city after a few years. So we welcome, on behalf of the entire team gathered here in Coimbatore, I welcome Mr. Shivkera. And our chairman, who will be joining us shortly, is the inspiration, as I said, and he is the inspiring force that I do everything in the business world and otherwise. So, a warm welcome for him. And Dr. Anbu, who will be here, he was a guest in an earlier function for our institution, so I had invited him to join us. He heads the Nalanda Corporate University of Polaris. And, we have a corporate gathering here, and I thought he would add a few words, and I welcome him to this gathering. And the team who's gathered here, it did not happen overnight. I think it's hard work of a couple of our professors and some of our media friends who had advertised big enough to get you all here. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, I thank and welcome all the corporate HRs and the executive level people who are here, not only just to witness the grand elocution of Mr. KERA, but to take this message forward to your beneficiaries who are within your organization, how they can better their career by joining hands with PAR Global. There are several institutions that are offering a corporate style PGDM catered to the need of the companies themselves, and we are thinking in that direction to do the same. So I'm really happy to welcome the corporate people who are gathered here. So I once again thank the corporate and HR people who are gathered here, and the other invitees. I'm just surprised by the number of people who called me and said, Mr. KERA is here, we want to be here. So I'm really happy that a lot of people are excited about the fact, and that's the excitement that we at PAR Global want to put in Coimbatore with this program. And thank you for calling in and making yourself available here this evening. And I want to welcome, a warm welcome and hearty welcome to all the press and media, without whose support today would be not as big as it would be today. So I really thank them and welcome them. And organizations like YI, CII, CMA, and the academia who had already called, and they also wanted to be a part of this grand moment here. So I'm really happy that they're all here, and I welcome them. And the most important people, the people who are actually interested in this program, they're also in this hall. And I welcome the interested candidates for the executive PGDM. I hope you find what you wanted, and we can deliver more. With that promise, I welcome you. And of course, the team PAR Global, which has worked a lot, be it putting together this program, the team of faculty and the learning associates of PGDM. Most of them are in projects away, so we have a very thin strength of our own management students. But regardless, this moment has to happen. So I welcome Team PAR Global and all the members associated with that, and all the crew that is helping us to put together this function today. I welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, very good evening to one and all. Esteemed Dr. Shivkera and our guest of honor today, Dr. Anbu Ratnavel, Senior Vice President and Dean, Nalanda Corporate University of Polaris, and our CEO, Mrs. Anusha, and my dear allied brothers and sisters. PARC institution, which has got a standing of more than 44 years, now come to Coimbatore with an existing institution with a new program known as the Executive PGDM program. That is the purpose of today's meeting here. And this program was sanctioned by AICT and approved by All India Council for Technical Education. And I thought it will be one among the subjects that we were already offering. But our CEO had something different in her mind. They should go and reach the people who are really interested in making a management program really their own career in the days to come, or it will add value to the standing of the people who are already in the corporate and the management field. And I was a bit surprised when who is the person who is going to come over here and inaugurate the program. Normally this can be done in a very simple way also. But such a giant in the management education, management philosophy, management techniques, like Dr. Shivkera, I never anticipated. This is really a great gift to the people who are in need of knowing what is an executive PGDM. He is a management technologist, an educator, an entrepreneur, and everything. I had a talk with him only yesterday for 2 hours or something like that. And he is something different in management, philosophy and technique. And one thing I could find out from him is, the basic concept of management is, everybody is studying management education. But his idea is to bring leadership into management. That is what he wants to educate the people. He tells his philosophy of telling people about management is, the old saying goes like this: an ordinary teacher tells, a better teacher explains, still a better teacher demonstrates, and the best of the lot, he gives you what is called a communication, and he gives you the kick for starting your program, your learning aspiration that is kicked by the best teacher. And that is what he has in his mind. He is not a person who tells or explains, but a person who sees that the fire is made to be lit in your mind about the particular subject. And the leadership quality is that what is needed today. Here in Coimbatore, if you take, there are people who are willing to invest on any projects, any industries or something like that. What they want is a better executive who can execute the job. And the philosophy of good leadership is there, which is imbibed in our own Idihasas of Mahabharata and Ramayana. I will tell you 2 small anecdotes and I will just close my presidential remarks with that. And it was the day they wanted to start the Mahabharata war. Who is the best person to suggest which day is auspicious for starting the war? The Kauravas went in search of Sahadevan, who is the last brother of the Panchapandavas. And he is the best expert in astrology. Though he is in the opponent camp, they went to him and asked him which is the good date for starting Mahabharata war. He said, day after tomorrow, it is a new moon day, you start the war, you will definitely win. That is the science of astrology, what tells me. This was heard by Lord Krishna and the Pandavas. What is this? Our own brother suggesting a good date for them, for the enemies to win the war. What is this happening? Are we fools to tell these things to them? Then immediately Krishna was called and they told him what has happened. He said, oh, this is a precarious condition. We have to solve the problem. We have to meet out with a solution. Krishna being a very good teacher, a leader, philosopher and a solution-giving person in management. He said, day after tomorrow is the new moon day. Invite everybody tomorrow itself. Everybody means all the devas and all the VIPs in the whole universe, invite them. All the people came and they asked one question to Krishna. What is the day after tomorrow is the new moon day. Today is just a day prior to it. What is that you are doing? Will we get success? He asked the people around, what do you mean by new moon day? New moon is a day where the sun and the moon come in close proximity. All the people are invited. You see sun and moon sitting nearby, standing nearby. Today is a new moon day, start the war. That is how the Mahabharata war was started. And this is solving problems in the extreme conditions. Krishna is our first and foremost management consultant in our own Idihasas. Similarly, after the war and everything was over, Krishna and Dharma, both of them were sitting, and they were chewing what has happened in the past. And Dharma was telling, if Duryodhana has been attentive to our speeches and advices, the war would not have happened. We would not have fought. We would not have lost all our 100 brethren. He was telling. Then Krishna said, you are equally bad in that aspect also. How? See, when the dice was played, the first chance was given to the Duryodhanas. And when the success came, Duryodhana said, my role will be played by Saguni. He deputed the work to Saguni. But what did you do? When the dice came in your favor, you never thought of me. Had you thought of me, I would have come over there and played on your behalf, and Saguni would not have never got the success, and the war would have never been happened at all. So, what is the meaning this gives you is, you have to depute people who can do your job. That is the management technique that is given in our own Mahabharata. And here is our Lord Krishna in the form of Lord Shivkera, and who has come and who has to deliver a lot of things like the Jagadguru Krishna. And I am equally interested in listening to him, what he has in store for us for this today's program. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
The greatest joy comes not just out of accomplishment, but when someone of high Nalanda Corporate University of Polaris to deliver their felicitation address.
Good evening. I think I'm stand between you and the great speaker here. Now that Chairman Dr. Ravi mentioned about war, I just wanted to mention one thing. In this current new normal where we are all struggling with the war for talent, which my HR friends would be able to relate to, I think there is a lot Dr. Shivkera has to offer, which he has offered right from his You Can Win book. And I'm a big fan of his book and what he has to offer. So many great things in terms of management that we all know. And I'm happy there is a program such as the Business Excellence that's rolling out, which is the order of the day, which I'm sure the corporate folks are able to relate to. It's not about just coming fresh out of the MBA school, but with an experience in whatever the management gurus have to say, mixed with that to come out and get into the leadership role. Because the world is changing. It's not about just leadership anymore. It's about servant leadership. And unfortunately, if you look at it, one of my favorite things is the followership. You know, there is not a whole lot of book that's written on followership. If you hit the Google to see leadership, there are hundreds and thousands of books on leadership, not on followership. Followership started all the way back with Krishna, right in Mahabharata, and Jesus Christ as well. If I have to just take two religions as an example, right? So that has been my favorite topic as well whenever I go in to talk to my senior folks about followership. If you have to relate to the Gen Y that we are seeing here, I think the traditional leadership is a bit challenging. So we have to get a mix of several things to get through or sail through whatever we want to accomplish in business excellence. Right? And I can relate to that very well, very strongly to the word business excellence, especially because we have been toying with the idea of people separately, process separately. It doesn't work anymore. So we brought in performance excellence. So I can relate to it, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to hear from Dr. Shivkera, who else can actually be here to launch the program than somebody who has been mentoring face-to-face or even virtually or indirectly many of us. Thanks for the opportunity, and it's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Chairman, Park Institutions, Dr. P.V. Ravi, and CEO, Park Institutions, Ms. Anusha, to honor Mr. Shivkera.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members on the dais. It gives me great pleasure to give you a small brief upon what we are planning to launch today. And I cannot go forward without looking into what the past of Park is. Park institutions. With 4 decades of experience in the education field, and with more than 20 institutions under the umbrella, and having thousands of graduates pass through the portals of Park institutions, I think ranging from engineering to nursing, arts and science, to teachers training, schools, and of course, management graduates. Now, it's been a tremendous number of people, tremendous number of graduates who come into the world. And that's what corporate, classroom to corporate is about. Okay. Now, we endeavored this PGSBE, that is Park Global School of Business Excellence, in short PGSBE, is a fledgling institution. Started in 2007 and with the first batch passing out in 2009. We are proud that we are one of the few institutions offering the PGDM degree in PGDM course in Tamil Nadu. And we are also now, for the first time in Coimbatore, going to offer the Executive E-PGDM course. It is a part-time course, and I will give you more details of it. Further on, we will talk more about it, about how it came about. Now, PGDM program was what started off the thought process and said that, okay, if we can train students and move them into the corporate, I'm sure there must be many people in the corporate who would want to come back to the classroom, realign themselves with concepts, and then move forward. So the basic concepts and theories, which philosophy, etc., which went into the PGDM delivery is what we are going to look at next. Just a brief history that almost about 150 graduates have crossed the portals of PGSBE, and the courses are tailored to suit the current trend of the business. And we give a lot of, build the foundation on concepts, and further from there, we give them the opportunity, give the students the opportunity to apply concepts into realistic scenarios. And we have functions like basic electives. The students have a choice between 2 electives. The basic electives crossing finance, HR, marketing, systems, etc. And plus, we have also added a unique electives in healthcare management, media and communication, and international business. In order to give the global flavor, we have academicians visiting us from US universities who take on courses like corporate strategy, leadership, and international business. Now, this equips the students to move forward, and when they move into the corporate world, they move forward. And as we're talking about globalization, it really gives them the jump start into the field. We are proud that almost about 100% of most of the students have been placed, and to name just a few, in places like Deloitte & Touche, JP Morgan, Royal Bank of Scotland, etc. Now, what we are planning to launch, the E-PGDM program, or the Executive Postgraduate Diploma in Management. Whom does it apply to? Well, I thought of it as, okay, maybe middle-level managers, but not necessarily so. I'm sure it could apply to any person who's looking for to go back into the classroom, refine concepts, and come back so that there is a push. They are ready to take on the next level. So basically, we are talking about corporates who are looking forward to go to the next level, and we want to equip them with the appropriate tools to move forward. The next level we want to target is, we know that in this city there are a lot of, and I'm sure many of you are here, who are entrepreneurs, self-made people. I'm sure you would have carried with you a lot of experience, exposure, qualifications, and moved into this. But then there's always something missing. That missing link is what we want to try and refine and put it forward and enable you to move forward with your own business. Take it to the next level, whatever be it. These are the two target groups which we are looking at. And the electives, if you look at, which we have chosen, is that the basics, which will always be there, I guess, finance, HR, and marketing, the concepts will never fade away. We always need them. In addition to that, we are offering sector-specific electives like family business management, operation management in the organized sector, and in the semi-organized sector, entrepreneurship and image buildings. How are we going to deliver it? We have, from past experience, that we have realized that, when corporates, they want to come into the classroom, they don't want to touch examinations. So examinations is something which people do fear to go through, and why mug, write, etc. So we have ensured that what we want to ensure is that we want to give the lowest emphasis for examinations and higher emphasis on innovative solutions, application of concepts to realistic scenarios, and independent work submissions. And we have with us a great pool of academicians who will be focusing on this more than the examinations. Okay, with this, I end my talk, giving you a brief on this. More details, etc. after the program. We will have a counseling cell over here, and if you want any of you who are more interested in it, you can find them there. And plus, of course, the brochure will give you a lot more details. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I am honest, I'm hardworking. At the bottom I have written here, I shall always give more than what I get in life. This is a principle to live by. I shall always give more than what I get to my family, to my organization, to my customer, to my society. Folks, if you go read life histories of people who have succeeded in life and then sustained success, maintained goodwill, 3 items. People who have succeeded and then sustained success and then maintained goodwill, they all have lived by this one principle. I will always give more than what I get. To my family, my organization, my customer, my society, you sign an agreement to yourself based on the principle, moral commitments are stronger than legal commitments. You sign to yourself.
Our chief guest, Mr. Shivkera, for launching an executive PGDM, which made PARC a pioneering institution to commence an executive program approved by AICTE in Coimbatore. Also, I would like to thank him for delivering an exceptional speech to our Coimbatore. Thank you, sir. Let me take a privilege to thank Dr. Anbu Ratnavelu, Senior VP, Dean, Nalanda Corporate University of Polaris, for felicitating this function. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to our chairman, Dr. P.V. Ravi, for his all-time support and guidance, which made to create yet another milestone called Executive PGDM. Thank you, sir. My hearty gratitude to our CEO, Ms. Anusha R., who always worked to elevate a PARC to the next level. I think this program is being a testimony. Thank you, madam. My special thanks to guests from various corporate and institutions for accepting our invitation and honoring us with their presence. Thank you. I would like to thank every individual and press media for supporting us. Also, I would like to express my deep gratitude to all PARC staffs for extending their great support for making this function a grand success. Once again, I would like to thank each and everyone supporting this function. Thank you so much. Happy evening.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे Jai